two teams.
DDK is turned on. Molotov does not work, and because of that, Sticko gets a nice headshot onto Golden. The in-game leader we just discussed has taken a bullet to the face.
Yeah, and that might be a problem for Fnatic, the lack of Molotov, well, successful Molotov there. Made his way deep into the A site. The Molotov often suggests a B split. The bomb is headed in that direction, but I don't know if it was originally intended to. So it's very curious to figure out what Fnatic were up to, but JW will be heard by Oscar.
Oh my god.
That is a nice shot. He's got the bomb now, and he just needs to hold his angle. He will do so. Lekro. Ooh, that's a nice shot from Lekro. Very good, quick, crisp aim from the man. He has 1 minute with which to try and salvage this round. Problem is, the longer he waits, the better positions the CTs will develop. He can try to use that smoke grenade, but I don't know really how he can be effective with it. How does he not get traded? Lekro doing the most he can. 18 HP now. He's got to find his headshots. The range isn't favorable for him with the Glock, but he's still trying to get it done.
That took a while.
I mean, fair play. It's also it's a really awkward fight for Lekro to even get that done, just because you have to stay at range. You have to stay in that position in order to have safety so they can't encroach upon you around the bomb site. And obviously the Glock is not ideal there. But, I mean, all things considered, yeah, the Molotov misses, which is a shame, which is a mistake from the Fnatic side, but some very incredible. That shot from Oscar, one tap as he's jumping out the window. That's absolutely craziness.
Oh, that's just the beginning of what Oscar has to
We're
offer.
just getting warmed up.
Yeah, Oscar has much to offer on this map. And Inferno, which is the next one.
And one quick thought about Fnatic and your surprise to the numbers that they have on the leaderboard. One of the series they played was against G2, and Jumpy was playing instead of Flusher, and they still split maps. They still split maps.
Yeah, Jumpy.
Oh my god.
8 frags, Mac 10 Master, Impact frags.
And then this happens.
And then this happens, yeah. And this is what you expect against Fnatic. Walking in, shooting you in the face with pistols. They are quite proficient with those. And it's something that Fnatic, one of the cool things about Fnatic is just that they have this awesome identity whereby pretty much all the players are just confident to make plays, to have the freedom to create weird situations and then thrive in those weird situations.
I mean, I'd be surprised if that wasn't a situation where they saw how much success they gained on Pisteron coming towards A, with the ability that Flusha had, like walking all the way up towards stairs to find that fight at triple, and he was just like, let's just do a contact at A. Like, they played it so passively, we can get out into the open, we can get some angles that are favorable, because they did all that with very little utility. I think there was only one flashbang thrown towards jungle, and it didn't even have an impact. They just hit some disgusting shots.
Triple FAMAS on the T side. When do you see that? It's a disastrous start for Mousesports, and it may keep Oscar off the AWP for a while longer, and that's going to be very important for Fnatic, because this is Oscar's playground. I don't think there's anybody better on this map than he is. There's Molotov landed by Fnatic, and again, this is often used for a fast B split. Nobody's in apartments just yet, but this is deeper map control at this point than you would normally expect. Chris J with the scout. His original YouTube highlight reel weapon. More known for his rifling these days, which is very competent indeed, to put it lightly.
Yeah, someone who still likes to rock the silenced M4, and his first bullet accuracy is really good. Oh, very nice by Chris. Another pick off there, and now Fnatic down to 2 players. And they are not looking like they're in great shape at the moment. They have only 2 grenades on them. I'm smoking a Molotov though, so very useful.
This is tough. This is a great setup for Mousesports with 1 in window, 1 in connectors able to swing out. That's a nice find from Flusha though. Very, very patient. And because all this action happens so early, they have plenty of time to recover from this. They can just sit patiently now, see if there's going to be any more mistakes. But right around like the 30-second mark, 25 seconds, they're going to have to start making their move one way or the other. And there is a kind of a crossfire setup where each player... The crazy thing is they're not using the smoke. The smoke is going to fade by the time they want to make their decision and move somewhere. So that's not ideal.
Really looking for that Mousesports overextension, but they're just holding position now. Stiko discovered. Stiko wins the battle with the UMP. Great movement around the corner to really throw off Flusha to win that engagement. Now Lekro in a 1v1 after plant with no idea where Rops is coming from. Can Rops... Ooh, it looks like Lekro heard the footsteps. Rops, he can't come in unknown, but that is pretty... That's going to work. moving accuracy on the pistols, pretty good when your opponents are very low. In fact, that was probably a favorite weapon compared with an AK or something in that position.
Well, the moving accuracy of that weapon has been nerfed, but I think it's just good shoulder picking from Russ.
Yeah, I mean, showing the shoulder and getting the shots baited out. Lekro was committed to that fight. With 12 or 13 HP, he was just basically saying, I win this fight or I lose. And Rops is able to find out the position before committing to a fight, and it's an easy win from there. Trading rounds back and forth. Fnatic got dumpstered early with that aggressive play. I mean, they lost so many. They lost, what, 2 players like immediately upon trying to get up towards Catwalk very, very quickly.
I think you could argue that one issue might have been being in mid for so long, but also they didn't. I think if they had somebody in B apartments, then they'd probably go for a split pretty quickly, which is maybe something to look at in the future. Anyway, Fnatic are on the force buy again, quickly into the A site. Jungle is smoked off, but not Connector. They've got the numbers to face these players, and they will trade. Still a man advantage for them. Rops moving into the site. Got a teammate in tow, but he'll get taken down pretty quickly. Stico has a lot to do here. He's the last man standing for his team. Trying to avoid a 2 versus 1, but Golden will be enough, using his teammate as distraction, and the force buys will continue.
Another round where they just walk into A.
I'm wondering if this is designed from Fnatic, because it's happened a couple of rounds now where they haven't had that connector smoked off. They had jungle, and actually they re-smoked it pretty much immediately after it was smoked, and they just swing out and take the trade. So I'm wondering if that's designed, or if they're just saying we screwed up, and the only way to kind of overcome it is to swing and take those trades. Either way, really nicely done from Fnatic and Mousesports. The one thing this is going to do to Mousesports is eventually, as this half goes on, it's going to train them away from mid control, because they're not able to hold just these standard, contact A hits. So instead of sending 3 players to mid early on in these rounds, they'll have to keep 2 that have somewhat of attention over towards A. There's a great shot from Crims to enter in. There's still 2 more players here, and they've spotted Rops as well. He's going to drop into the flames. Nowhere to go. It should be a pretty easy standard take from here for Fnatic. So they're going to be the team to stabilize in this early trading.
See what these 2 choose to do. It's the eco territory, so Chris J would do well to hold on to his scout for the rounds to come. Oh boy. JW never shy to chase a player down the pre-fire. Stico runs straight into it. There's nothing better than when you pre-fire a spot and somebody just walks straight into it face first. It is a glorious feeling, especially when you're tapping as they re-aggress an angle. It is glorious. What isn't glorious is the Mousesports situation. We'll see what their situation is like on the buy round. Very curious what their approach will be, because I don't think their situation will be ideal.
No, and I think Dan had a great point, is that this will keep the op out of Oscar's hands. It's the common conversation, what's the best way to stop some of the best stoppers in the world, and it's just simply to keep the weapon out of their hands.
James said that.
That was James?
Don't dare give me credit for things I didn't say.
Sorry. The 2 are basically the same person to me at this point. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, we're now in a situation where Mousesports can buy the next round, but you probably won't be able to have an AWP, and it'll have to be a double save. So all of a sudden you look at this half, and you're going to say we'll be 7, 8 rounds in, about halfway through the half, and he hasn't even had an op in his hands yet. So that's great news for Fnatic.
I think whoever was on short just used the HE grenade to send JW's gun away from the ladder room just in case somebody was nearby, which is always good. If you're on an anti-eco and a weapon is dropped, you can use a grenade to send it away from a place where it could be salvaged by the CT side, or use it as bait if you have a safe enough angle, depending on the number. Well, let's see what the Mousesports economy is like. 4 to 4,500. It's going to be a weak buy from them. I'm sure they'll mostly opt for the M4s, but there won't be much behind these M4s.
If they don't win this, Oscar's not going to have an op until the 9th round of the half. So that's so stellar for Fnatic. That early trading was quite nice from them.
Yeah, and he is a player that's obviously gets stronger with the confidence, so he has definitely been hampered dramatically. This spray down though, that is really solid. Too much damage sustained from Fnatic's side of things. They're going to speed up in Catwalk, try to take more engagements to double down, but it's Chris J to shut things down and out for Fnatic.
I like how Chris J didn't get too excited with all that action going on. He didn't go to the other side of the smoke. He kept doing his job, watching the underpass area. Oh, timing. Timing! Oh, he's rung a bell though, and Chris J is there to clean up. 3 people alive for the time being for Mousesports. They need to keep it that way, as we often mention. Oscar was holding an angle towards the short, but it seems he will rotate towards the B bomb site. Chris J will take a deeper position. He's going to back off as well, so looks like he's going to take CT towards A, and the other 2 are just going to stack the B bomb site.
Can Oscar actually afford an AWP if they win this round?
No.
He's that broke. Wow.
He's actually as broke as you can possibly get.
Wow.
And that just makes even just 1 kill here from Lekro, considering that economy, like so important. Mousesports just cannot give it up. It's got a chance here. I mean, the plant should happen because of how passive Mousesports is playing. It's everything after that that's going to matter. I'm also kind of surprised that with Mousesports having 2 players at B, they don't have any presence on Catwalk. All the time.
Looking for an AK, but maybe it was hidden by the body, or maybe he shot it away, as you can often do during a spray. That's really frustrating. You kill somebody and your bullets shoot the weapon away, stopping you from getting an upgrade, and you can see they need it. Rops on a UMP. You never want Rops on a UMP. That's never an ideal situation.
No. He's been an incredible revelation to the scene. He's been so good. This time Fnatic's a bit more cautious turning that corner. It helps. Well, I mean, it's smart as well because they missed the window smoke. So that might have been a small surprise, but either way, they're going to get mid control. They're going to push down at Oscar. Still peeking. He's got to be careful. Mid control, despite a miss smoke, is going to be the way of Fnatic. Maybe because there's not a 3rd player here for Mousesports. They've been trained by all that A hit. There's 2 players dedicated, and JW has a sick position.
Oscar's got to be careful. His shoulder peek is perfect. Don't expect Chris J though. No. And there's 1 player down. How do Fnatic respond to W? Moving back into the connector position, risks being taken. See this set up from Rops and Sunny. Sunny with the close range with the M4, and Rops as a cleanup man. It's a variation of the SK setup.
And this is a bomb. This is a bomb as well, going alone to A ramp. So the round couldn't be decided just by this 2-on-1 here. Golden may not know it yet, but he's got a huge job ahead of him.
So JW eventually finds his way in. Eventually gets in there. And where are these CTs?
He's heard Oscar running into CT. But timing is going to absolutely ruin the round for Fnatic.
And they've got 2 players playing close pit. That's perfect here. Fnatic can't really do much to stop it. And it's going to not only grab the bomb, but in fact everyone survives, winning their respective fights for the 4-4. And the thing for Mousesports is that you don't really want to necessarily get an AWP yet either. I mean, it's still early enough into the round. You don't want to just throw that money away.
Yeah, you can't upgrade here, so it's going to be longer without Oscar with an AWP. So should be getting it in the next round. I imagine at least 1 player from Mousesports will fall in this round. It is for only 5 deagles on the Fnatic side of things. That last round seemed very unconvincing, and thank God Oscar hits a nice shot, because that was an awkward little mouse wheel jump.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where the wheel is kind of halfway between 2. You press mouse 1 and it jumps at exactly the same time. That's why I will never jump with mouse wheel.
There it is.
There's the AWP kill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Flusha.
Some tagging being done. It's quite a complete smoke on short. Racy one without a gap. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Well, this changes things. This changes things.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where do you have to constantly challenge them in mid?
I mean, the correct answer is no, but I'm always surprised how it even happens. Like, you just feel like you get lured into a fight. You're just like, yeah, I should win this. I'm at the proper range. This is one of those areas, really good call from Golden. Just get the bomb planted, get that extra $800. Could have kind of fought for the win. but wanted the bonus money. Fnatic's gonna have a very strong buy into this next round, which is good because, like we said, Oscar's gonna transition to that AWP. It'll be interesting. Do they still do some double opping with Chris J? I imagine they would.
On occasion, but I don't think we see it so much on Mirage. I mean,
Nah.
I think they'll do it in a more opportunist fashion if they can pick one up, but Chris J's a really good rifler for Mousesports. Really good.
Regardless, two-thirds of this
considering
opening,
it.
two-thirds of this opening half
Wow.
have gone without an AWP on the Mousesports side. So Fnatic's got to be happy about that. But on the other hand, you would probably like to have more than 4 rounds in that kind of a circumstance.
Chris J's opted for the UMP, and I guess it's based on a spawn timing. Because he had over 7,000, managing to avoid a flashbang. Moving accuracy up close will be very favourable for him. Strafe kill. Jumping kill on the point. Oh my god, Chris J is going bananas. That's some nice money he made. That's literally paid for itself, and he's got an upgrade.
That's really smart as well. You can see he didn't even buy any utility because he knows he's just going to be hyper aggressive. The UMP for the range of that fight, much better weapon than the AK-47. So he's not risking a whole lot, all things considered, for that kind of an aggressive play. So you're right, that likely is spawn-based and tactic-based to use that UMP, which is a very cool variation.
Yeah, it's something that I'd like to see more of. I talk about it sometimes, like having just a buy that's fit for purpose as opposed to just buying everything because you can, which is sort of the default mode of everybody. But you can see that he had no fear because of the UMP as well. He was just able to push forward and do his job even better. So works out there. But as far as Fnatic are concerned, it's not working out all that well. They do have the bomb, and it's a 2v3, so they can perhaps create an interesting spot. But they have 40 seconds, so they're somewhat committed to this A bomb site, which is the one they're choosing, and Rops is in a fantastic position in the Palace.
It's a cool angle.
That's actually a perfect play from Rops, taking control of Palace. And now you just wait. You are the insurance policy. There's very little chance that Fnatic is going to assume he's actually in Palace still. And it can be so tough to handle this round, especially now that all the rest of the Mousesports players are there to distract.
It's a nice flashbang, but what will they get out of it? Not much. Chris J will take both players down with some support from Rups. Great, you can see the instant communication as soon as the footsteps are heard. That's such a pain when you're on a T side. You have to slowly clear out the area in case somebody's there, but then you're left with no time to charge the site where there definitely will be someone there.
Yeah.
So you're screwed if you do, and you're screwed if you don't. 6-4. What is the Fnatic situation? It is, wow, this is actually quite a dangerous buy, especially if they get into the site with smokes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, right? And actually, I mean, it's not even a full buy, it's a half buy out of Fnatic, so they still have plenty of money for the next round, especially with the losing bonus building up. So pretty much next round they'll have whatever they want as well. And another round where Mousesports is basically playing a retake on A. Rops is just going to sit far back. That Molotov shouldn't do a whole lot. It does split up the attack just a little bit. They have to run through the flames. There he is jumping on top. That's nice and spinning as well. Can't respond. Lekro distracts. The bomb should get planted, and it's going to be a 4-on-4 retake.
I mean, they have all the grenades. Well, I say all the grenades, there's one incendiary. They have enough to pretty easily retake it. There's no counter grenades from the T's, so it should be fine here. Unlucky, Lekro. Unlucky. Respect the effort. JW trying to keep the effort alive with the Deagle, but it's going to be tough now. He's in the open. Ooh, gets a very nice angle. That is going to make things really scary. Oscar in the 1v1 now, has to pull out the pistol, and the CZ does it. That's heartbreaking for Oscar at the very least, considering he only just got the AWP.
Yeah, now I think, well, Chris J can drop him one, so they can still get him a weapon as well, which would be nice. Actually, I think it's Rops who's dropping it over, but this A defense has gotten pretty bruised and beat up. That's pretty much the only area where Fnatic's had success. They actually aren't finding a whole lot when they try and get mid control and then transition into an A hitter and transition to anything else. It's when they just do a whole hit towards the A bomb site and a full-blown execute that they're having everything they want.
I think Fnatic is stylistically a good matchup for Oscar's aggression, and it is the two AWPs now, so a change in approach from Mousesports. So Chris J, the top fragger on the CT side, will be moving to the sniper rifle. He's in the ladder room at the moment, and it'll be Sunny taking up Chris J's role, and that's a bad miss.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Looked like he was going to get some nice damage there.
Yeah, he had a good timing and everything. Failed the lineup it happens.
It's a big presence in connector though. 2 players there at the moment, and Oscar with the AWP.
Oh, you could see Flusher if he goes the other way. Had a flashbang from a teammate, but did not quite hit the mark. Is Flusher visible to Sunny? I can't tell.
No.
No.
Oscar's not having a great game with the op. He missed a pretty easy shot in the previous round that looked like it might have been able to hit, so I don't actually think he's gotten a kill with the AWP yet.
Yes, last round he did.
He did? One?
Yeah, right at the end, yeah. But, yes, normally you would expect him to hit those. Sunny, though, triple from him on connector. That's beautiful. That is really beautiful from Mousesports. They spotted the bomb as well, with the push through underpass. Deco putting the pressure on JW as he tries to edge out. But he can't. Sunny gets himself
an ace.
Every kill. Wow, he just walks in, just shuts the party down.
How did he even get there? Sunny's everywhere.
Fnatic doesn't seem to have a plan when they get mid control. Like they got set up in mid with that boost at the stairs to peer into window pretty early on, and it wasn't until like 40 seconds left where they actually started to move forward, and which is when they just got destroyed by Sunny. But if you have that kind of mid presence and Mousesports knows it, if you just hold it with 3 or 4 players for like 30-40 seconds without doing anything, like Mousesports is going to put themselves in a. They're the ones who are putting themselves in position to make the play, so it becomes so difficult. It's just very weird to see Fnatic take over mid and not really do anything with it. You know, we used to see them get a player in towards ladder room, get a player in towards connector, and execute elsewhere. You know, you set up that lurker, that guy to cut off flanks and rotations, and then head to one of the extremities. At the moment, they're not really doing anything.
Surely they're waiting for someone to peek so they can kill them. that's what's happening.
The old wait for the mistake tactic.
Yep.
Now they're back to Old Faithful. The A bomb site. Will there be a flash for Sunny? Rops is busy holding Palace. There's no one else in the A site, so no flashes just yet. They are pretty committed, Mousesports, in their positioning on A. So this fight may be brutal. Although Oscar's repositioning, he may be able to offer some support. 49 seconds. What is the magical time on the clock Fnatic are waiting for? The info for Sunny having a look. He heard the grenades being thrown. And now Rops, he's on triple. And again, he's committed as well. He can't really move back. He's isolated. Needs flashes from his teammates. There's the first one. But he needs more. Trying to escape now, but the Palace player is going to force him forward once again. Where are the flashes for Rops? Still alive. There's another one. But I think that was a T-flash. And he does escape. And Oscar's there to clean up as well. Very difficult stuff for Fnatic. 2 of them alive. Only 1 kill so far. They need more. Chris J holding an angle, lasers going through the site for Mousesports. Buster alone with the bomb. Trying to make a hero plant, but he will be denied.
That's actually incredible that Rops was able to live that long. That was beautiful work from him. He had so much attention on him that it really froze that attack. Like no one from Fnatic pushed forward because Rops was fighting everyone without dying, which is crazy. He took like 3 separate battles, got 1 kill, and is even able to get out alive. So stalls everything out from Fnatic, and finally Mousesports stopped one of those A hits. So Fnatic is back to the drawing board with just PT50s. There we go.
Chris J's got to be careful. Or does he? Apparently not.
Get him, Flusher. Get him!
He's one with the carpet now, the rug. One with the rug.
One with the carpet, like bacteria.
So you think of when you see carpets, you think.
Well, I'm trying to think.
bacteria.
What could be? What could you describe as one with the carpet?
Dust.
Dust, bacteria. I like bacteria.
Dust mites.
I'm going with bacteria.
Thread.
Thread.
Ooh. Nice pick off there from Oscar, going really aggressive with the orb. Probably don't expect to see him in that position.
Seems like he's warmed up a bit. Maybe he came into this match a bit cold. Now he's starting to feel it. He's heating up, just in time for map 2.
I think they denied him the orb for so long, and they denied him.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, Lecro is known, and he's going to die. Rops will take care of that. Flush it out, pushing in, knows where they are as well, and Looks like the too close to pit setup works out a charm for Mousesports. 10-5. Quite the resurgence if we consider how things started off, how well Fnatic denied their economy.
Also, if you think that one round that Fnatic won in the later stages of that half was with CZs. That was where like a CZ and Deagle execute on the A bomb site. They didn't win many gun rounds in that game, did they? Most of them come from that early trading and just adding in the one little guy later on. So dominant, all things considered, from Mousesports. Scoreline doesn't suggest it, but that was a really, really good half out of them. So Fnatic have a big job to do here on the CT side. And Old Faithful, Contact B. Chris J with the utility.
I learned that smoke from Guardian. He used it on Na'Vi, he still uses it on FaZe. Goes deep into the short position, which makes it hard for CTs to rotate. Isolates plays on the site. But Flusha through the smoke, as per usual, finding himself some headshots. 4 versus 3 for Fnatic, thanks to that kill. 3 players in the market position. See how Flusha tries to open things up for his teammates as they are having to force their way through some nasty choke points. Ooh, Oscar looking for a pistol at the wrong time. And things get worse for Mousesports. Now it's Chris J alone. He's got the high ground, but he doesn't have much else. Flashbang into the site. There's a smoke down and... might be a question of making some money, but he won't.
I think that round is... It'd be funny if you had like a counter of how many rounds over the years we've seen saved for Fnatic by Flusha getting 1 kill through a smoke. Like, that's such a critical... That 1 kill that he gets through the smoke as they enter into the bomb site is so critical because it prevents really a whole lot of aggression going towards market from those Glocks, them getting up to the close ranges, and then obviously you just don't feel comfortable. And then Oscar, I mean... You can fault him for trying to go for that USP all you want, but he just kind of felt like he had to do something. Had to get some kind of a weapon to be able to fight back.
What's also annoying is that for the T side, they don't know where they've just been shot from. So they need to identify if there's somebody actually visible, or if it was through the smoke.
Yeah.
Which is a second you can't afford in that situation.
Fair play as well. Lekra also had a really, really good kill there because he was forced back and in an awkward situation due to a flashbang. It's a pretty solid cleanup, even with JW getting the FAMAS.
Yeah, one kill for Sunny and might get another one. Nicely done. And that's essentially all the damage that you can expect reasonably. And it's a good amount of damage.
Remember, they're buying in the next round as well.
Oh, nice. He's throwing the guns away. What a pro. Okay, he's not throwing this one away.
Well, they've all got guns anyway, so... Although he might not know that. There could be UMPs around.
He day it. Well, 10-7, Fnatic get the start that they wanted. But with the bomb down on the pistol, Mousesports are straight back in there on round 18 on the 3rd round of the half with an AK buy, and they've got an ample amount of grenades to back it up with. So this will be an interesting one. What's the plan here? Looks like heavy presence towards the A sites is the request from Mousesports. There's one lurker in middle. Pretty classic round.
Oscar's position where he landed that grenade is a good place to throw a smoke into the middle of the site between Triple and Default. Anyway, let's see how Fnatic can defend this. So far, so good, but the bomb's got down pretty quickly, which is good for Mousesports. However, they are losing men all over the place. There's the high ground player gone, leaving Chris J and Oscar in a 2 versus 4. Chris J trying to make plays through the smoke. JW is looking on the corner of the smoke as well. 2 sneaky players trying to outsmart each other. There's Chris J asking a lot of Oscar now. 1 versus 2. Going up very widely, running out of bullets, trying to be conservative. The push comes in from JW, and that will be that. An expensive round for Fnatic. Mousesports get the plant.
That's a really, really good round from Golden at the ticket booth. He's always, if you're playing a retake strategy like that, your ticket booth player is like the most critical position to hold. Not only does he need to survive, but he needs to get at least 1, and Golden gets 2. So that's really, really good. And because he gets those kills, that's what kind of forces Chris J, I think, to go towards top connector. You can't really feel comfortable sitting back. You have to find a place to get aggressive somewhere, because you can no longer just passively sit in spots and wait for the retake to come. You have to actually go hunt down a kill, find yourself some space over towards jungle, and try and help your teammates in that sense. And it makes everything just a little bit easier. So, nice job from Golden and the rest of Fnatic managing the retake, even though it did get costly, but obviously this round is going to be much, much easier. And if they survive with all 5 players this time, which they won't.
Tech9. You forgot that it's still a thing.
Goodbye. Sonny has a smoke. Could drop the smoke.
CT side looking good for Fnatic so far, and they too. It's been a while since they haven't had the AWP yet. So Oscar, I don't know how I almost messed that up, but Oscar is going to have one of his own. So there's a big advantage for the Mousesports side of things, depending on where he can take that. They've got good utility as well. Ooh, mid aggression. Love this.
Lecro is en route. Crims has been dropped pretty quickly, and Lecro will be soon joining him. That is a giant problem for Fnatic.
I like that angle from Seeker. That was really nice. Well,
Excuse my coffee.
it's a cool position, a perfect position for Mousesports. You're in a 5v3 on the T side with well over a minute to play with. Just have to get the numbers in a coordinated, well spaced out manner, and you can't really play it too wrong. So, Flusher, the Sixth Sense, able to get a smoke kill.
Ooh, this is a big boy play. Ooh, you love this. I'm so excited.
So much information's.
Ooh, he even checked it! He didn't check it all the way. Oh, that's awesome. That's the bomb.
Does he realize Chris J is in B? It looks like that he does. Chris J, he's got to jump on the box. Oh, he's got the off angle. That is Dirts McGurts. However, there is a player on the back as well, but who's going to find him first? Oh my god. JW somehow steals the round and the AWP with a 4K.
What the hell just happened?
That's the most Fnatic thing I've seen in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
I think. That's so disgusting. What timing? Because I didn't see who that was. He even checks it, but then even here, just
Stico.
so fortunately with the timing, yeah, Stico jumps up and maybe just doesn't see that deep into the stairwell. JW just hugging the wall. But that's what the benefit. That's what you'd imagine Mousesports would be able to prevent, because they got those kills so early, like Dan said. I believe it was Dan this time. They had over a minute left with a 5-on-3.
Yep.
Like, you have plenty of time to be patient, like, and walk your way around the map. And like, you're supposed to be able to punish JW making those plays because you have so long to just wait and clear every single corner. You don't have to be lackadaisical on your passage to the B bomb site.
They're going to try to make everything better with a hit onto A. Smokes everywhere. And the bomb should go down pretty easy for Chris J.
Does he know he's got the bomb?
I don't know that he does, because he's just... no, I don't think he did. He's just running around like he had no idea. And it feels like they put the smokes down so he can just plant in the smokes. Now the smokes are all gone. So this is awkward.
So you're not planting.
You're
I
not
wonder,
planting.
I mean, it could be that somebody threw him the bomb and he didn't hear it on communication. It does happen from time to time. So we won't point fingers. That's awkward. That really sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, I mean, that was a guaranteed plant. Let's see what they would have had. Okay, well...
They're all right. They have the full bonus behind them, right? So
Yeah,
last round was like a half buy.
Well, it's nice
still-
to have more money.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, it might... if they're missing $800 later for a full buy.
It's ROPS that's hurting. They have everything they could want outside of ROPS. So
This round, Jason. This round. What about the future? Gotta save for the future, man.
who does that? That doesn't sound like fun.
Stereo frags from the AWPs. See how each team responds. Mousesports trying to creep in. They're committing with the bomb. Golden in what some people refer to as the get right position. Your Fangle, very sneaky stuff. Might just crush the round, although Stico is trying to fight back. Two CTs around a connector position and one on short, holding the angle. A wide flash from Oscar. This smoke is commonly thrown by, well, it used to be commonly thrown by T's to jump around these boxes. Does create somewhat of a one-way situation. Don't really see it in pro matches though. Very, very rare. Now Stico's alone. And now he's joined his preference.
I think Oscar just missed the timing on when that smoke would fade. Looking in the complete wrong direction whatsoever and completely exposed to JW. This is a solid defense coming out from Fnatic. A couple small mistakes from Mousesports here and there, but overall this is really, really nice from the Fnatic side of things. And now they're building up some money as well. So they've got some ability to sustain losses in this match with the dominant CT side.
What if they had that plant now?
Yeah, they'd have just enough for a 4-buy.
They'd have, their money would be...
You shut your mouths.
Shut your damn mouth. Ah, you wonder if they're tilted.
I think you have to be. Although
The combination of those two things. We need the black model from Seaside that has the gold watch. This guy doesn't have a gold watch. Where to watch at?
I think he needs a WWJD bracelet.
What is that?
What would Jesus do?
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean the bracelets. They have bracelets that say that.
Oh yeah. You always gotta wonder, James. You ever in one of those moments where you just don't know the correct path moving forward? Just think of Jesus.
Correct path is always W, Jason. 2 more CTs in the B bomb site. Mousesports needs to move quickly. Unfortunately, they're moving into the reticle of JW, and that won't be good for the health. No insurance to cover that in Counter-Strike. 13 to 10. Buy time again for Mousesports.
It's not looking good. They haven't found like a winning formula at all. I guess the one real round where you would have said they had like the biggest chance of winning was just getting some picks early on, and Fnatic has just decided not to go aggressive ever since then. I mean, that was Lekro pushing mid, and I think Crims just kind of got punished trying to cross A to connector to help for that push. And Fnatic now just playing standard, just everywhere is just basically, you know, as vanilla as humanly possible.
Less presence in mid means Sunny will have an easier time of things. Mousesports looking to set up the triple pronged attack. Here it comes. And will Crims be able to clear the burst to Sunny? No. Sunny actually wins that fight, but the trades are coming. Lekro with some big damage there on the site. Still 2 players left alive for Mousesports though in the 2v3, but the bomb is not down and the smokes need to be redeployed here to provide some form of cover for a plant.
Oscar needs to get into the action. He hasn't shot a bullet in this round, and like this is where he has everything he could possibly need. He can take any decision he wants, and yes, there's some danger everywhere he goes, but he's got the freedom to do anything. He's the second one with the bomb as well, but that's great positioning from Chris J. And there is Oscar chiming in on a JW, finally getting into it, and Golden in a 1-on-2. Tough times for him.
Chris J might rotate to CT spawn now because the bomb's planted for default. And he will slowly do exactly that, which basically gives him a third man because Golden doesn't know if he's still in jungle or not. Despite the smoke being there, Oscar can tease, but he doesn't need to necessarily peek because if Golden pushes forward, then Chris J will have the angle. But Oscar, being Oscar, doesn't need no support fragger. He'll just do it himself.
I love that play from Chris just to push towards the smoke. Thought that was pretty awesome. Especially with 2 players actually right next to him.
Well, the tough thing is Flush is going to be frustrated maybe a little bit because his teammate, which was Golden, was kind of spotting at the bottom of those stairs and trying to like just spot for the head that would cross, and especially into the bomb site. I think he missed the timing, and Chris J crossing into jungle. So that's why Flusha just didn't seem aware of it whatsoever. So a couple small things that just turned the tide of that round. That's not ideal.
Enjoy the smokes for a while. Fnatic will wonder where Mousesports are. No presence in mid at the moment. 4 players in the B apartments. And the lurker towards A seems to be moving away from that position, so maybe we will see some presence towards top mid. They've got the grenades for it. Only the 1 smoke, however, which may make life difficult. No one in the underpass to relieve some pressure in that respect, with a HE or a Molotov towards the CPL position. The minute mark, and Mousesports start to move away from apartments and back towards the A site where Rops is lying in wait.
So really passive positions for the CTs on A. One connector, one in, or next to the ticket booth, or toll booth. Fnatic not going aggressive anywhere, so no information whatsoever. Oscar still lurking in the B-abs. See how well Fnatic can hold this one off. Golden finds himself a sneaky position. JW's inside the smoke. This is scary stuff here. Oscar meanwhile with the pick on the rotation, and now they'll get the bomb down. What is happening to JW? He was just sitting in the smoke forever.
That was madness.
I have no idea.
That makes me feel good. I'll tell you why afterwards. But let's see if this can be retrieved. Only one flash onto Flusher, which has been deployed. There it is, but still nothing out of this, and that might be the end of the round.
I think that might be the end of the money. I think the money stops flowing now.
I think
Ooh, no, they have JW can drop. They'll buy again.
maybe JW was trying too hard in that round. I remember when I went to LAN, right, and I sent Steel my demo, and I ran through the smoke on Mirage. And he ridiculed me for it, but that was worse.
Yeah?
That was definitely worse. So I'm happy now. I am happy.
When you say ridiculed, I know Steel. I've seen Steel do some demo reviews in my day. It was a bit more than ridicule, wasn't it?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
If you're looking for brutal honesty, he'll give it to you. In a demo
Yeah,
review.
that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. It was good. It was good. It was funny. There were a lot of pros who tuned in to watch it as well. A lot of Meister was in the chat.
Yeah.
Watching it. That was awesome. I wish I could go to LAN again and send some more demos, but it's not always possible. Well, one day I'll be back.
Ooh, this is an interesting buy. So JW had, I think, 7,000 something. So he goes for the op. They just do a half buy behind it. So all things considered, pretty conservative. And Rops is in a tough spot. But now that he's in the blind, it's Flusha who's taken out. And JW with the op is where? Is he at A bomb site or is he? Yes, top connector.
This is a nice position where you can quickly look from connector to Palace. Instead of being in jungle, it's a good position for those of you that learned at home to use. Nothing used to be quite keen on that position when he was on Cloud9.
You can get catwalk as well, so you're just very centralized. But again, because it's the one AWP, Fnatic is basically saying JW has to be our first point of contact, and no one else make your plays. No one do anything with the Deagles until JW kind of either gets a kill, starts spotting something, we start getting information. But they really want JW to get involved in this round before the Deagles make a play.
Sunny should have heard the scope from connector. So that's a warning to Mousesports that Fnatic have something in mind. A flashbang is there, and there goes JWP, taken out quite solidly. Golden with a late smoke grenade, but the bomb is already in the site, so I like the attempt. But it's a successful round for Mousesports.
All tied up. Here comes another buy, and there will be no AWP for Fnatic on this round. So, oh, actually, they will. Golden drops one over. What a guy. He's gonna have no armor. JW, or I mean, he's gonna have no nades. Neither will JW. Just to have that AWP out. So, 13-13. Fnatic still with a chance to claw back into this. They had a great CT half up until these past 3 rounds.
But now things are really different because Mousesports have found so much more comfort economically, and Fnatic are experiencing the opposites. That's a thing, though. That's a thing. Good timing. And that's Steeko done.
You'll notice as well, JW, when he rotates back, just pre-firing Palace, that angle, because that can be such a tricky angle. Fnatic is one of the teams that historically has done a very good job of exploiting a player falling back from jungle, so JW just knows it so well for the pre-fire.
Lots of activity in mid for the Mousesports side. Small gap in the smoke cost him Steeko running past, and now JW's got angles on short, but always the easiest shot to hit. 1 for 1 will flush a go, but Lecro's there to clean up further. There is a player on the high ground of B, but the bomb has been lost. Rops is alone now. The money doesn't look spectacular for Mousesports. This is a really tight match so far. JW is there to clean things up, so we'll see what the Mousesports coffers are looking like. Oh, they're mostly good. Okay, so it's just Sunny who is caught short. But he will have a AK drop for him, and Stico, what will he go for? Because he's just shy of the AK. That's the worst thing when you drop someone an AK and you're just shy of buying one for yourself. Like, oh god, I kind of want my AK back, but can't ask for it.
Why do you go for the Tech 9 though? Why not like go for like a UMP? You can get aggressive with it. Galil even. How far the Tech 9 has fallen, I think, is the takeaway from that.
Perhaps he expects to die immediately.
Or one of his teammates.
And he can pick up a gun, if not, indeed. And I mean, that first bullet accuracy is pretty good, right? So let's see how that comes into play. I mean, Chris bought Tech 9 in the previous round as well. I was surprised to see it. Got a kill with it as well. Ooh, the flames! That's Stico dead. Sorry, that's Golden dead by the hands of Stico. Tech 9 not even needed to be fired.
Yeah, fair play. Nice kill from Crims. Chris J trying to do too much, I think. There is a flanker coming mid on Catwalk. He's been spotted out. Even if Flusha wins this, though, there's a follow-up flank, so it's a bait and switch. So that puts Oscar in great position to win this round or have significant impact with the AWP. And, oh, this is going to be perfect for him. Oh, they lined up the double!
I knew that was going to happen. I saw it in my mind's eye. And there's another one for Oscar. Full annihilation. On the swipe from Stico.
He even hit the last guy.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
I knew that was going to happen. There were just so many of them rank connects. I was like, he's gonna try and line them up. He's gonna try and line them up. Beautiful. Obviously, he doesn't know that there are so many people there, but I just knew that was going to happen.
Do you know what happens? Like, so I'm sure a lot of people would miss that shot. The difference between like failure and success there is so much embarrassment. If you mess that up, that's bad.
Would Draken land a shot? That's a question.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He would have shot the first person immediately, missed, and then shot two of them together afterwards.
Yeah,
On the second
shot. Yeah.
And leg the person coming out of CT at the same time.
Yeah, because it was one of those, like, this is an easy shot. You just have to do a small adjustment. But it's like two players, and sometimes your brain just gets confused.
That's the thing. It does look like he's lining up a double, but I feel like he's just lining up the one shot and getting fortunate that they strafe into each other because he's just like, please don't miss this shot. Please don't miss this shot.
When someone's just moving left and right like that.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
It is, yeah. You know who would have missed that? FNS. He would have panicked. FNS would have panicked.
Why are we just ragging on FNS out of nowhere?
Do you remember when he was top of Inferno and he had the Glock and he could have just killed that guy?
Yeah, that was good.
Well, that's a huge kill for Fnatic and a lot of information because the bomb has been spotted and there isn't time for a rotation here for Mousesports. So they are moving away from the A site, but they've got 30 seconds. Are they really going to barrel in? They must realize it's an eco. Chris J manages to escape, so it might be that they just try to barrel into the B bomb site, but the rotation has already come in from Fnatic. This is going to be carnage.
Oscar's in with one, that's good. Already they had a player coming in from the short position. It's Stico. Oh, he will go down, but it should be alright. Oh my god.
They've done it.
Time. Oh man.
Just live.
Crims, you sneaky bastard. You have done it, sir.
That's unreal that they win that. The one kill in Palace is so huge. Mousesports runs away from one CZ. He gets all the information because he's still pushed up. Fnatic jumps the rotate and does just enough. That's disgusting.
Look at what it's done to their money. Oh boy, this is psychological warfare at this point.
If they weren't tilted before, they're certainly tilted now. Like, that'll tilt you off the face of the earth.
You know, there's a game in Japan, an arcade game, where you flip a table.
Okay.
That's the game.
That's all you do?
Yeah.
What's the object? Do you want to flip the table onto its legs or onto the top?
No, it's like flipping a table is like what people, theoretically do when they're tilted, right? They're like, oh, this is just...
Is it supposed to be a game of, like, stress relief? Like, Japan is just like, just flip this table to relax yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean... Maybe there is a cathartism from it, but I didn't bother to play it myself.
Weren't tilted at the time?
When I was in Tokyo. I'm more of a smasher than a flipper. Well, they've managed to get a reasonable level of AKs out and some grenades. The second smoke grenade on short. They draw Flusher out. But again, there's no one in B apartments. I always like to see a B split when that smoke is up, because obviously it obscures vision from connector. But B split is quite rare in matches, professional matches. So there's a minute 10 on the clock. Mousesports have had possession of mid for a while. They've still got some utility, 2 smokes, some Molotovs. What is their plan though? Are they going to run the clock down? At this point, time might be against them.
The 2 ops is going to be the tough part. Where are those at the moment? One is window, one is at B, I'm assuming? Yeah. So that allows that second player at the B bomb site to be very, very mobile. And I think at this point, I mean, you can see Fnatic is just congregating over towards A. This will be a very tough take, although the bomb is still at the top of mid.
Yeah.
I don't know what the plan is here for Mousesports. They're running the clock down again. I think this is just going to be a straight loss.
I don't think they've realized that the bomb is top mid. I think that's a mistake.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, this is a gauntlet run. There are 4 people in the A site!
Oh man, this is not happening at all.
Oh
And disaster
my god.
strikes. Fnatic 16, Mousesports 14.
There is no way the bomb is supposed to be top. There's surely no way. Because